Hey everyone, welcome to RNS Life After 55. This is Sherry. I'm I've been YouTubing how to make plywood look like wood planks. So I've come up with this. Those will be straight looking boards. If this works out, and these will be, they're like the chevron look, to make it kind of look like a barn door in a way, because I don't like the way it looks now. And I've got the taping off done and all the measuring done and all that good stuff. I wasn't going to record this because if it doesn't turn out, then it's going to end up just being a brown wall right there. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go ahead and show it, because just in case it does turn out, you guys will get to see it. So there's where I'm starting. I've got it measured, I've got it taped off, and I'll show you guys how I do it, and we'll see if it works. Okay guys, so I'm really liking it. I mean, I probably spent 20 bucks for paint I'm hoping I have enough paint for all of it, but right now I'm not using very much paint. So, if you like it and you think it's something you're interested in, continue to watch this video, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm doing it. I'm not sure, I'm going to have to find a tripod to put this, camera on so I can do it and show you guys at the same time. But yeah, I'm taking the natural knot holes that was already in the plywood and trying to make them look like knot holes there. But the first one doesn't look as good because I wasn't sure what I was doing. It seems like a thinner line, and I'll explain that in a minute. Does make it look more natural, so I'm trying to go thinner. I wish I had a smaller brush. I thought I did, or I would have bought one, but the package is there and it's empty, so apparently I've used it and didn't know I used it already. But let me go ahead and tell you what I did real quick. Let me find the paint can. I bought just a quart of, and I just picked out a dark brown color like that. So I think any dark brown will probably work, because I wasn't sure. And then I bought these little paint mixers, cups, whatever you want to call them. And in one of them, this one is that paint, and then it's 1-to-1 ratio of water to paint, because you want it to be really, really thin, because you definitely don't want it to go on very thick. And then in this one, I took the same paint, and Lowe's doesn't sell paint pigments anymore where you can darken, buy darker colors and mix your own paint. So I bake cakes. I decorate cakes sometimes. So I had some of the gel black cake coloring. So I just took and put some of that in there to darken it, and it's working fine. And then I have this big brush I'm using for the lighter color. This is the smallest brush I had for the dark color. And then this is kind of my just scraper brush, and that's why it looks like this already. And I'll show you guys when I'm doing it so you'll understand how I'm doing this. So let me set up my tripod. And okay, don't look at me because I look terrible, because I knew I was painting, so I put on some old clothes. I haven't done anything to my face or my hair today. Don't care, because it's a Saturday and I'm out here by myself. But you guys are the only ones that are going to see me today. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I can't find my tripod, and I don't think it would even be high enough because I'm working at the top part of this Murphy bed. So I'm going to just hold this close, and I'm going to try to hold the camera, and I'm going to try to show you guys real quick how I did this. First, I removed the next piece of tape. Okay, so that was the piece of tape that was right here. My hands are already icky. And then I'm taking the dark color with this small brush, and I'm going to try to put a line right next, a dark line, as skinny as I can, right next to this last piece, because that's what's going to make it look like it's two different boards there. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to record and watch what I'm doing. It's hard to do. This is when it'd be nice to have my 9-year-old granddaughter. She loves recording me. Okay, so we're doing this dark line right here, as skinny as I can, since don't use this size paintbrush. Make sure you have I don't know, like an artist paintbrush. They sell them in the regular house painting section too, because I buy them all the time. I love using those. Sometimes they come in handy a lot when I'm painting, so I always try to keep them around here, but yeah, I used my last one. So, okay, so now I have, you can kind of see that dark line right there. Then I'm going to take, sorry guys, I'm reaching over for paint, so just give me 1 second and I'll get you off of whatever you're looking at right at the moment. Okay, so I'm taking my big brush and I just barely dipped it, and actually I'm wiping most of the paint off of it. You don't want very much on here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I kind of feather it out from my dark line. Whoops, sorry, you couldn't see what I was doing. So there's my dark line. So I'm trying to get close to that and just kind of feather it out. And I'm much faster at this when I'm not trying to show you guys what I'm doing. It doesn't really take that long at all. But I'm trying to record with one hand and paint with the other. And that's kind of hard to do with this job. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just kind of grabbing, whoops, no, you can't see, can you? So I'm just kind of grabbing and getting that line, but I don't want to cover my line up with this. Okay, so now I'm just going to go right here, and it doesn't matter if I get that on the tape or not. That's what it's there for. Okay, so let me get this done, because you kind of got to work fast, because remember your paint is mixed with, you know, it's half water, half paint. So you have to kind of move kind of fast, or it'll dry on you before you can make it look like wood. Okay, and see that little tiny bit of paint? At first I didn't, I was re-dipping, but don't do that. I even have too much paint on this one right now. So you don't need very little paint. Okay, so now that's what it looks like. And then our third step is I'm taking this dry brush. I have not dipped it in any paint. It looks like I have, but I haven't. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to do this while I'm filming. You're going to run the paintbrush up against the grain of the brush kind of thing, like this, and just kind of swerve it a little bit, because you know wood is not perfect. And even right here next to the line, it won't, you can get it there. And look at that, guys. It looks like a piece of wood, huh? Now, let me show you one other tip, and I just played around with this, and I think it looks pretty cool. This plywood has a lot of natural knot holes in it, and this piece I just did doesn't have one, but I'll still show you. Okay, so you can take your brush with your dark color, make you a round circle like this, just a little, nothing fancy, just a little round circle like that, and then take your dry brush again. That's the one I did the up and down with just a minute ago. And then I just took it, I'm hoping I can catch all this. I just took and squished it on there and twisted it in a circle. And looky there, looks like a knot hole. And then you can also take, again, your dark color. Remember, your dark color is kind of just your accent color. And you can even take the dark color, if I can get it filmed here, and just kind of do another skinny, some kind of a, it doesn't have to look like anything much at all. And then we can do it up here too, above the knot hole. Okay, and then our dry brush once again, and we're same direction, always go the same way against the thing, and just kind of do that, and it just looks like the wood, this looks like imperfections in the wood. Okay, so I can't record doing anymore because it's just really hard to record while you're doing it. But I don't know what you guys think, but I'm getting better at it. My first few pieces didn't look as good, but I'm getting better at it. So next thing I'm going to be doing is I will be taking this piece of tape off, the next piece of tape, and then I'll start my dark line again. And then I have all of this to do. So the next thing I will probably show you guys will be the whole thing completely done, and you guys can let me know what you think. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll be right back. Well, it's going to be a while for me, but for you guys, it'll be just a second. Okay, guys, and I have it finished. I'm going to let you guys see what I did. I think it turned out really awesome. Um, it's lightweight, of course, because it's just paint. It's not real wood. It was very cheap. I think I bought that 1 quart, not a gallon, but I bought a quart of paint, and I used about 2/3 of it. But let me show you guys real quick. Let me move my brushes around here. Um, but I still had this much left. I have enough just in these tubs here to probably do a whole nother section like what I just did. And this is a 60 by 80 because it is a queen size bed. So a few tips is when you have long runs, like right here, these longer runs, do like half of it and then do your dry brushing. Here's what my dry brush looks like now. It's a mess. But then do your dry brushing, then do the next second part, dry brush, and because dry brushing you can still run them together where you can't tell that you did it in 2 parts. Trying to think of anything else. The knot holes are a lot of fun, so don't get too crazy like I did with them. But we had a lot of knots in this plywood, so I just kind of followed the knots. A couple of my knot holes were actually indented in the plywood, like no, that's not a real knot. Okay, like that one right there. So I just kind of did the inside with the darker color and just a little bit on the outside of it and then swirled it. But and then there's the brackets, and that piece of wood up there, as soon as I get it polyacrylic, is going to attach to these brackets. It's going to be a little bit longer because I don't want this metal on my flooring. And then that will be a shelf that's going to be up there, and then it's also going to be the legs to the Murphy bed when we pull the Murphy bed down. So let me get back and see if I can get a good wide view for you guys. I don't know if I can or not. I only have so much space in a cargo trailer. But there's the paint job. You guys, don't be afraid to tackle this. I was so nervous. It took me 3 or 4 days to get the nerve up to do it. Oh, I was telling you the cost. I'm so sorry. The cost was a quart of paint, a roll of the blue painter's tape or whatever color. I got the skinny painter's tape. I had to buy 3 brushes. Oh, and I started off with like that 5-inch brush, and I ended up moving to this 3-inch brush, even for the big wider sections, because it was just hard to get into these kind of corners and places like that. So don't get too big of a brush. You'll be fine. And then I bought the brushes, and and the 2 little tubs to mix it in, which you don't even have to buy those. I just didn't feel like trying to scout down a couple of butter bowls. So, but yeah, so that's what I did. The paint was $15.98. The painter's tape was $6 because I remember thinking that was a crazy price. And then I did buy better paintbrushes because I wasn't sure. I still think I would do that because when you're mutilating one like this one is, you don't want your bristles to be falling out. And I never lost one bristle out of that thing, even as bad as I tortured it. So my paintbrushes, I think, were around $8 a piece, between 8 and 10. So honestly, I did this whole job for less than $50, and you can't even, I mean, you can buy 1 sheet of beadboard, but 1 sheet of beadboard will not even cover a 60 by 80 space. So it takes at least 2. So if you want to do a project like that, of course you could do it on any kind of wall that you want. Make sure that your background is either white or yellow, or, I mean, you know, something that might have a natural wood color. They suggest yellow. I didn't want to have to buy yellow paint and spend more money. I just thought I'm going to try it with white, and I think the white looks fine. So if you have any questions, just give me a holler. But it was a very easy project, guys. Don't be afraid just to jump in there and do it. And this might be something good for everyone who's keeping their regular plywood. I'm almost tempted to do the back door the same way, but I'll probably still put carpet on it. But yeah, if you're keeping your regular walls in. Oh, and this project took me from, not counting taping it off. I did that yesterday, and I probably spent an hour and a half taping it off. And that's because I had a lot of math to do because I did this chevron thing. So if you're doing straight up and down or across, you wouldn't have all that. Taping off didn't take very long at all. And then the painting today probably took me 3 hours to do that amount of space. So, and I did get faster as I went along. So yeah, this might be an alternative for those who are wanting to keep their plywood walls too. It looks really cool. Okay guys, thank you for joining me today. Have a great day. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and we'll see you next time on RNS Life After 55.